It's okay to ask art questions like how did you learn it? Yeah, man, of course it's an art stream. Why would you not ask me art questions? The main way that I ended up learning anatomy, and this is just full like transparency, is looking at a lot of not safe for work art. And this is why. Like when I tell people when I've been asked this question in the past, like it's let's just cut the shit first and foremost. There are obviously a lot of gesture drawings that you have to learn how to do, and mainly the way that you do that is, obviously using the box methods, looking at, like, learning how to not look at things as, like, a 2D object, and understanding contouring and foreshortening, all that other stuff, okay? But when you're just learning the basics of anatomy, one of the main things that I'm going to tell you, and this is going to lead back into the not to work part, but the main thing is understanding how the body contorts and bends in certain ways. Okay? So let's say you have a character lying on their back. Hold on. Let me go ahead and do this. Like I'm not giving you the picture, I'm just going to show you how to do this. So, like, when you're talking about learning anatomy, let me just demonstrate this with... Okay. I have... Let me start with a running pose. Okay. The first thing you want to do is make your line of actions. So, it's like doing this, right? You first need to make, like, your line of action. And I'm having this point down because that's where the gravity of the pose is going to be. This is basically like the center of gravity where it's going to be. Okay. And then I just kind of follow with that line. This is going to be a very rudimentary way of explaining it, so bear with me. The key is remembering to I am doing a very bad job explaining this. But it's follow... Again, no problem, any info is good info. Yeah, but the thing you're going to need to do is position where... It's like what the action is. So say, for instance, your character is running forward, like this is. What you need to do is make sure that the body follows through where it's bending to that line of action. So if they're running forward in a forward motion and it's a full sprint, right? The line of action should be going downwards, so that way, and it should be curving down. So and keep in mind, again, this is just very basic, but do this. I feel like it's easier for me to demonstrate by just doing. And keep in mind, it's like not doing this extremely perfectly, because even then, my anatomy isn't always 100% accurate. So with this, notice how he's pushing off of his back foot as he's entering the motion of the sprint. Yeah. Hey, Scrublord, how you doing? His body is... Yeah, and his body is, leaning forward. Yeah. Abiku subscribed for Prime Gaming. Awesome. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. Much appreciated. But yeah, okay. So it's weird because my doing good, boss, and yourself. We're chilling. I'm just giving a quick demonstration on doing anatomy. So, and Mosi, yeah, and then Mosi has also just followed. Much appreciated. Welcome in. Nice to meet you. I'm giving a quick demonstration on doing anatomy. So, hey Garrett, I feel my artist mind just expanded seeing this. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so when it comes to drawing, right? When it comes to drawing anatomy, it's important, like I said, to follow what position your body is in. So this is the center of gravity, right? It's in a forward motion. Like, yeah, it's in a forward motion. And, like, yeah, he's in a forward motion. And so you want to make sure that it's pushing forward. You want to make sure that all of your lines go the direction. Like, yeah, when it comes to the gravity, the key is making sure that whatever it's pushing down, it's pushing forward in the opposite, because it's like inertia. Like you know, it's just like actual physics. There will be an equal and opposite force pushing against it. So if the gravity is going down, it's going to be moving either left or right. So. So, and also Scrublord has followed. I'm getting tired of... How do I get... Hey, Aimless. Nice to meet you. I am giving a very rudimentary explanation as to how you do anatomy. Fuck. Where was I? Yeah. But that's, it's like, well, like, that's just doing poses. But let's try this, for example. When you're drawing a head, it's also important that you break your anatomy down into just shapes, because literally all of anatomy can just be broken down into your basic shapes and then your detailed shapes, right? So when I'm drawing a head, and keep in mind, this is my way of drawing anatomy is very simplified just because of my art style. But when I'm drawing a head, right? I'm doing this. If you're needing to draw a chin, you have to remember that it's essentially just a triangle attached to a circle. Like, that's basically all it is. It's just a, like, it's just a type of trapezoidal shape attached to another shape. Like, let's take drawing abs, for example, and I'm not very good at this. Drawing abs is literally just breaking it down into a bunch of squares and then into a bunch of other smaller squares. Oh, okay. So I think I'm getting a lot better at drawing parts of the body individually, but I'm struggling to figure out the connecting parts, like the spheres and cylinders and all of that are making sense, but the fleshy curves and connections are fucking me up now, especially the torso to the hips. Okay, so like, what do you mean? Like the extra added bits of it? Like, give me an example. So like, you have to keep in mind, I don't know, like, the body parts, like, all that well. I just, like, okay. Alright, I'm gonna give Lonnie a second to... I don't know what she means. Because I'm assuming you're sending it to me in DMs. But in the meantime, yeah, when it comes to drawing, like, fleshy bits like this, like, let's just take the ultimate example that I'm pretty sure everyone will be, like the figuring out the curve of the back rib cage, like the back to the rib cage and the shoulder. So effectively figuring out how to connect the shoulders to the torso. Okay. For torso and hips connected. Okay. Like the slimmest part of the waist. Okay. Yeah. There are a bunch of tutorials that I can show you guys online. But let me just do this. If we want, we can take like a quick breather and I can look up drawing anatomy so, you know, we can all understand and learn together. Yeah, let me just do this. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this. So when you're talking about the curvature of the back, you mean like something like this, Lonnie? Like where it's like where the shoulder blades end up connecting? Okay. Okay, so it's like, so your point is where these two parts connect, right? The key is remembering that when it comes to the shoulder itself, let me get rid of this. Yeah, the key is remembering that the shoulder itself, because this is the physical shoulder blade, right? Like, or like just part of the back definition. This will still curve up and connect to the back of the neck. That when you're drawing the shoulder and connecting it to the neck, it will still connect up to the collarbone and so forth and so on. I'm hoping that made any sense. Side question, do you save your VODs on YouTube or elsewhere? Would love to come back to this part for reference later when I can jump back onto digital art. Yeah, I've been trying to upload my VODs. I still, because this is a new PC, I need to transfer over all my VODs, and I also need to cut down a lot of the clips from recordings that I have. But the problem with doing that is that I have to do, like, transfer all of those from my old PC. And my old PC likes to be incredibly fucking slow. So once I get around to that, I can do all of the, yeah, I can do all of these. Also, Supersonic Citrus, thank you for the follow. I need to reload these fucking widgets. I swear. Yeah, so I'm gonna be trying to upload my VODs from this point on, since I've already done some, but yeah, I can go ahead and show you this, but yeah, no problem, you're teaching me a bunch, thank you. Yeah, no worries, guys, I got you. Like, at some point I might just start doing more art tutorials, both on Twitter and Twitch, if people wanted them. So yeah, fair enough. yeah, but for Lonnie, like, yeah, for Lonnie's question, the thing is that all of these points connect. So you have this point, you have this point, then you have this point. It's knowing that a lot of the body tends to it's knowing that there are curves and lines in the body where they intersect. So if you have the shoulder coming up and it's connecting from here, the neck will, like, yeah, they will all intersect at some point and then they will connect right here. So. Yeah. Yeah, because again, like I said, the entire body is just made up of a bunch of big and small shapes intersecting with each other. That will help with getting the right angle in these lines, yeah. Let me try and see if I can come up with another example. Let's just, no, let's just do one like this. Let's just use the female chest, alright? Since I feel like this is the one that I've studied the most, without question. Okay, so since the torso is essentially just being like this, and again, people use the a lot of people use the box method, but for like my purposes, I tend to just see the body in bigger shapes and just more defined shapes rather than just trying to get it in a boxy. Like, that doesn't mean you should just skip it. This is just how I tend to go about doing things. So let's just look at the female chest, for example. When you're drawing the boobs, first off, it's important to remember it's important to use the water balloon method because these things are not perfectly round at all. Like, at all. Like, when drawing female anatomy, when drawing the assets, you need to remember that they are essentially just two upside down hearts. Look at it down from your perspective. Like, if there are any women in the chat right now, look down, and I guarantee you will more than likely see that, oh no, your chest forms a heart. Like, it literally does. But anyways. So then you also have your shoulder, which, by the way, the shoulder, this portion right here, yes, we stand booba in this community. Like, we are huge fans of the boobas. Yeah, but really quick, it's important to remember that when drawing the underside of the arm, it connects to the back end of the boob, because remember, you have to look at it like a 3D object, right? Your shoulder, when it comes up, your shoulder, when it comes up, is still going to have this connective tissue that goes underneath it. Because if I just erase this part, this still tracks. But but now that I draw the boob over it, and that's what still be happening. So when you're drawing them forward, like when they're extending forward, back, doing all the things arms are supposed to do, it's important to remember how they intercept with each other, because the arm for when drawing girls, when it's back, it pulls back. And when it's forward, it comes above it. Like, it comes above the boob rather than behind it. Unless there are some angles where obviously they're squishing it, but that's not here nor there. Anyways. So this, this part of the arm would still intersect, and then these would still intersect up, and notice how it's still following the curvature and outline of where it is. This would still end up connecting to the neck. And how I end up drawing the neck, then it ends up going down to the next part. And it ends up following it like there. So yeah, that's the key part to remember, is all of your shapes at some points need to intersect. As a matter of fact, hold on. I'm gonna go ahead. This is a good time to pause in between because I'm going to... Yeah, I can go ahead and pull up the drawing anatomy shit that I do.